Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and The Big Lebowski is better than you remember. Now, I know that some of you are going to be like, Ryan, The Big Lebowski is one of the best comedies ever, and I agree. However, The Big Lebowski is one of those movies that, whenever I watch it, I always find something new to love about it. It's one of my all-time favorite movies, period. I at least watch it once a year, if not many more times per year. This is an endlessly rewatchable movie, and well, I'm going to talk about it. Before I do that, though, I want to address something. In March, I wanted to release this video in honor of the fact that this movie came out in March of 1998. However, the video I made was not great. It was not of a certain quality, so I trashed it, I trashed the script, and I retooled it into this video. I'm not going to release a video that I am not proud of, so better late than never, I guess. I don't feel like I really need to go into the plot of The Big Lebowski. If you've clicked on this video, I'm sure you know exactly what this movie is about. However, if for somehow you have never seen it and don't know what this movie's about, here's the long and short of it. A man named Jeffrey Lebowski, or the Dude as he likes everyone to call him, played by Jeff Bridges, lives a pretty boring life. He basically fills his days with drinking White Russians, listening to Bob Dylan, and bowling with his friends Walter Sobchak, played by John Goodman, and Donnie, played by Steve Buscemi. It's a rather boring life, but it's a life that he loves. He has a very structured life, and he doesn't want anything to disrupt that. However, his life gets disrupted royally, thanks to, well, some dudes peeing on his rug. The Dude gets really offended by this, because, well, that rug really tied the room together. And so he gets caught up in a whirlwind of a case that involves another man named Jeffrey Lebowski, his wife, who is a feminist, a man in the porn industry, and German nihilists. Yeah. I haven't seen all of the Coen brothers' filmography. I want to one day, but I've only seen a handful of their movies. However, this has got to be the Coen brothers movie with the best cast that they've ever assembled. You got Jeff Bridges, Julianne Moore, John Goodman, Steve Buscemi, John Turturro, briefly, but he's there. Hell, Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers is in this movie. This cast is awesome. In my research, I found that, especially for The Big Lebowski, there were several actors who were considered. However, I can't imagine anyone else playing these roles. It's like they were chosen to be these people from day one. Even though Jeff Bridges has won an Oscar and 2 Golden Globes, I can't imagine him as any other role but the Dude. I mean, he just is the Dude. The Dude was based on 2 of the Coen brothers' producer friends. Jeff Dowd, who, among other things, was a part of the Seattle Liberation Front, loved to drink White Russians, and insisted on people calling him the Dude, and Peter Exline, who is currently a part of the faculty at USC Film School. He's a Vietnam vet who lived in a crappy apartment, but had a little rug that he was incredibly proud of, and would often say, "It ties the room together." The Coens even took events from their friends' lives and injected it into this movie. One of their writer friends, named Louis Abernathy, once found an 8th grader's homework in his car, just like in the movie. But even if you exclude the real-world stuff and the inspirations for the Dude is just a perfect character for this movie. As the narration says, he is the man for his time and place. He's not really the protagonist in that he's just reacting to various things that happen to him. As I've mentioned, he has a very structured life, and he doesn't want anything to deviate from that. However, his schedule gets royally screwed up, and at a certain point, he just says to himself, guess I better help these people if I want any peace. There's a great scene in the movie where the dude is being chewed out by the Big Lebowski for being a bum. And in a different movie, you would probably expect there to be like a revenge plot or something where the dude reforms and becomes someone different. But he just walks out as the Big Lebowski is still yelling at him, and he just looks to Philip Seymour Hoffman and says, yeah, the old man said take any rug in the house. The dude always takes the path of least resistance every single time. He doesn't even take any gruff from Walter, and I'll talk more about him in a second. But even when Walter's going off the rails, he's like, Walter, please don't do that. They're going to call the cops again. I guess now's as good a place as any to talk about Walter, played by John Goodman. And John Goodman is one of those actors that I think people love, but almost never really talk about, because he has been around for a lot of years, and he is really good in most of the things that he's in. Even if the movie is not really great, he's usually the best part of it. And The Big Lebowski's a great movie, and he adds on to it. He's a Vietnam vet who constantly is beating his chest about his military service, and yet he's also subservient to his divorced wife, taking care of her dog while she's off in Hawaii with her new husband. It makes me kind of wonder why the dude and Walter are even friends to begin with. It would be fascinating to see if a movie were to be made about that. Probably shouldn't, but it would be fascinating nonetheless. And in regards to the title of this video, being that The Big Lebowski is better than you remember, I'm not going to say that this movie was ever bad. Far from it. At the time, it was kind of rejected by audiences to the fact where it didn't really do all that well in the box office. But time has been very kind to this movie, turning it into a cult classic. There's people who dress up to go to film screenings of it. There's even a Dude Con. There's a whole convention around this movie. Hell, there are college classes dedicated to studying this movie and, as they call it, Dudeism. I think this movie is better than you remember because, yes, it's also a goofy comedy with very quotable dialogue, great acting, beautiful cinematography from the legend Roger Deakins. It is all of those things. However, what makes this movie better than you remember is the fact that it's kind of a movie about nothing. Meaning that in most movies there is usually a 3-act structure of a plot and a resolution and a conclusion and all of that. And this movie does have 3 acts. However, what you realize if you watch this movie multiple times is that everyone just kind of stays the way they are. Every character starts in one place, and despite literally everything that happens, stays in the exact same place. If this movie were any different, or if it were helmed by any other director or writer, Walter Sobchak would have probably seen the error of his ways and probably, learned to shut up a time or two. But that doesn't happen. In another case, the dude might, turn his life around and become like the next Jeff Bezos or something like that. But that doesn't happen. This crazy story plays itself out, and then everybody just goes about it like nothing ever happened. While stuff did end up happening, the characters just kind of no-sell it. I suppose in any other case, this would be kind of a turnoff for a movie. However, The Big Lebowski is such a laid-back and kind of chill movie that when you realize that nothing's really happened, you just kind of go with it. At the end of the day, I think The Big Lebowski is a movie that can speak to everyone. If you're looking for goofy comedy, you got it. If you're looking to analyze this movie, you got it. And you could literally have it on in the background or studying it for your college class. Whatever the case may be, it works. But I'm sure you all have seen this movie, so let me know your thoughts about it in the comments. I'd love to hear what you all have to say about it. But that is all from me. Thank you so much as always for watching. Next Sunday on the channel, I will be dropping my first reaction to Finally, another Studio Ghibli film from Hayao Miyazaki. It is The Wind Rises. And then, throughout the month of October, I'm going to be pausing these Better Than You Remember / I Finally Watched videos for the month, because October is Scary Mania, where I'm going to be reviewing 31 horror movies in 31 days. But if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications. That way, when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam, and...
The dude abides.